This is my entryway. I've lived with the Genkan in this condition for too long. The entryway should be an area that is functional, but also warm and inviting. But in its current state, it's enough to scare even the raccoons away. My house is a humble house, and I want the entryway to be modest, with a countryside feel, and a touch of Japanese aesthetic, but not too much. There is a lot going wrong in this area. Gaping holes, tired, old-looking wood, water stains from bad roof tiles. If we enter into the hole, we can see what the interior of the ceiling looks like. I had used a moisture barrier on the wall to cover a big hole that was left open to the outside elements. Okay, let's rewind. This DIY project really started out with a text message from a friend in town. He was nice enough to call me and let me know that he was clearing out a property that was being rented out. And he offered for me to pilfer the scrap wood in the storage house behind the main house. Hey, I'm always happy to use scrap wood in my projects to save a few trees and save some money as well. I need a truck. I know. There was so much wood to choose from. I had a very specific idea of the renovation, so I set out to find the exact type of wood I'd use. I really wanted to take everything with me, but I know somebody who would have killed me if I took all of it home. Something else I will use is this spare ranma from my house. More on how I'll use it later. The start of every project is my least favorite. Demolition and cleaning are probably my least favorite processes of renovation. This weather sheet that I put did a good job of blocking the rain and bees and other nasties from coming into this hole during the summer, but I need a permanent fix. When you look into the hole, you can see how cool the sand wall looks on the opposite side. It's pretty interesting to look at. But now it's time to create a permanent barrier. I installed 2 wood boards cut to size, and then I used foam to seal the gaps. It should keep out the sideways rain in the winter from entering this area now. These wood beams are actually used for door sliders on the bottom, hence the grooves. But they're really nice wood and they will make great ceiling beams. The ceiling wood frame is a little too low, so I will have to adjust these beams to fit better and integrate with the ceiling. I used the router to create grooves so the wood can install properly without hitting the ceiling frame. Now, sand the wood beams, wash, dry, and then stain them. It's really nice looking wood, right? It's a very dense and heavy wood. It's a shame they were just used for sliding door frames. These boards will be for the ceiling. Again, I need to wash them first. While the wood dries, I'll work on the Rama board project and paint the walls. The wood for the ceiling is dry, and it's time to paint them. I added an outlet here. The electrician added an outlet here for my Ranma board project and for the lighting. You'll see soon enough why. I installed moisture barrier and then nailed the boards to the ceiling frame. Originally, there was no light in the entryway. I'm using a router to cut a groove into the middle ceiling wood beam. This wood beam will have an LED light installed into it. I didn't want a traditional light installed or anything hanging from the ceiling. My idea was that during the day you couldn't tell that there was a light in the entryway, but then at night the light would come on. The third and final ceiling wood beam is installed. And the remaining ceiling boards nailed in. Now it's time to finish the Ranma board project. I wasn't too excited to cut into the Ranma. This part was kinda scary. I'm not sure if cutting into it is bad luck or something. Nah, probably not, but it feels like it would be. Ugh. I created sort of a frame on the back side of the board to lift it off the wall more, so that I can install lighting behind it. Back inside, I realized that the paint didn't do a good job of hiding the damage to the bottom of the old wood panels. They still look kinda shabby. I decided just to cover them with a stained wood board. I wanted to make it look like a mud splash guard or something of the sorts, but hey, look there. Looks perfect now. One big detail that is missing from the entryway is an area for shoes. As everyone already knows, shoes come off in this area when entering a home in Japan, and we have lots of shoes. Well, I do. I envisioned a shoe rack with a bench over it. I honestly didn't enjoy making the shoe rack. There was too many pieces of wood to measure and cut. That's why the project jumps around a lot. I lose interest if I'm not having any fun, so I have to switch it up a lot. Having a laser really helps keep things straight. Speaking of lasers, I just wanted to take a quick moment to say thanks to Cigman for sending me this laser to test out. I've tested out a few lasers in my projects, and this one functioned very well. It has a built-in battery with USB-C connection versus others that use a battery and charging system, which makes this laser a little easier to charge on the go. It's much smaller than the other lasers I usually use. If you're looking for a cheaper but dependable laser, then check this one out. Functionality is the main goal in this area. Different shoes have different heights, so I made compartments to fit different shoe sizes. And if you've lived in Japan long enough, you'll know that leather shoes are mold magnets. So I had to clean these up really quick. But the details don't end here. Time to make a few rustic picture frames to add that finishing touch to the wall. And to cover over some minor defects on the wall as well. I remember when we originally viewed the house before we purchased it. The face of my significant other when she walked into the house and looked up into this sad entryway. Just the hole alone was enough to almost convince her against even continuing to go in. This is the power that the entryway has on a house. Now, hopefully, when people walk in, they'll feel warmth and invited to walk in and will not feel any fear of something jumping out of that gaping hole in the ceiling and gnawing their head off. Now we can walk in, hang a coat, take off our shoes, and store them, take a look at fond memories on the wall, and hang our keys in a place where we can actually find them. And for the first time, I decided to create the finished videos to really show what it looks like when life sets into the room. Again, it's functional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck on your projects and see you next time.